Hello, my name is Norlin, and I channel a collective of light beings known as Shri Pune. And I thought it would be interesting to ask them what they perceived of where humanity's at now and what 2026 brings. Indeed, this frequency resolution, which has been contending throughout the mind processes of humanity throughout time, is one which is reaching particular kinds of conclusions during this year of 2026. Understand that this year, 2026, does indeed allow for humanity to come to a conclusionary period within the mind processes. Understand that this conclusionary period is one which will allow for humanity to slowly crumble the patternings of the past and allow for this crumbling to unveil a new way. This new directive throughout humanity is one which this year, 2026, reveals. Understand that this great revealment, as it is now frequencing throughout the minds of humanity over time, is one which is allowing for this conclusionary aspect to become at a standstill point of awareness from each individual. This standstill point of awareness is one which is allowing for the frequency absolutions of light harmonics to persist throughout the minds of humanity over time. Understand that this conclusionary period, as it is now attending to the psyches throughout humanity's minds over time, is one which this year is indeed frequencing toward a new reality to be unveiled. This unveilment of a new reality is one which is allowing for this dissemination of the minds of humanity to crumble. This crumbling effect of frequency, release, and regeneration is one which we are indeed looking forward upon as this outletting, which this year 2026 is indeed concluding, is one which will allow for humanity to reach a new perspective. This new perspective is indeed a perspective of inward light. Understand that this inward light, which is a vehicle of understanding self, is one which will be triggered upon this self-realization throughout humanity as humanity unfolds this internal awareness over time. Understand that this conclusionary period of this outletting effect, which has been processing throughout humanity's minds over time, is one which 2026 is now concluding. This conclusionary period of 2026 will reveal new aspects throughout humanity. Understand that humanity does indeed maintain a congruency throughout their nervous systems. This congruency is one which is indeed maintained in harmonics. These harmonics throughout the nervous system of humanity is one which is now being triggered into an awakening. This awakening is one which will indeed unveil these prior aspects which humanity has forgotten throughout time. Understand that this long forgotten aspect from within the recesses of humanity's minds will allow for humanity to awaken up to the fact that these inner resources do indeed involve a great frequency of light harmonics. These light harmonics, which do indeed reveal particular aspects throughout humanity over time, will allow for humanity to reconnect to these inward processings within themselves. This reconnection period is one which we foresee throughout this year, 2026. Understand that this reconnection is indeed a highly magnetized frequency of light harmonics which do indeed exist deep within the planetary core. Understand that the planetary core of this consciousness of Mother Earth is indeed here to beckon this ability within the frequencies of humanity. Understand that this highly interconnected, webbed resource of light is indeed here for this regeneration to unfold. Understand that this unfoldment process is indeed now ready as humanity begins to close this outletting frequency which has been determining this directive towards humanity's awakening at this time. Understand that the timing of now is revealing these prior frequencies throughout humanity. This revealing of these prior frequencies will allow for humanity to come to realize the truth of who they really are. This self-realization process is one which is unfolding at this time. Understand that this period of time is indeed demonstrating this great release at this time. Understand that this great release is simply allowing for a repatternment of the minds of humanity to demonstrate a forward momentum of understanding the truth of who they really are in terms of frequency. Understand that this great frequency collapse and regeneration is one which 2026 will reveal over time. Understand that the timing of now is merely representing these frequency repatternments as humanity becomes more aware of themselves and the prior patternings which have affected their system over time. Understand that this mere awareness factor will indeed elevate humanity over time, and this self-awareness process will allow for the repatternment of the minds of humanity to progress humanity in a new directive. This new directive is indeed a directive of humanity's soul to begin to awaken throughout the systems of humanity over time. In this systematic awakening process will indeed allow for this triggering action of the selves of humanity to begin to remember the truth of who they really are. This harmonic truth is indeed an endeavorment of the souls of humanity as the souls of humanity are beginning to frequence a new reality from within. Simply allow for this repatternment process within your minds to allow for this demonstrative action of your heart frequencies to return to your conscious awareness. Understand that this conscious awareness factor is indeed a highly revelatory processing of inward light frequencies of your soul, which is now attending to this furthering of repatternments throughout your minds at this time. Simply allow for this repatternment process to begin to showcase to you an inward light frequency of your soul, and allow for this guidance system of your soul to deliver to you the harmonic light frequencies which indeed are available to humanity at this time forward. Understand that this time of this year 2026 will indeed reveal this aspect throughout the minds of humanity as humanity becomes aware of themselves. Thank you.